Hello and thank you for joining us on this edition of Naseni Milestones. Today our attention is on Power Equipment and Electrical Machinery Development Institute, PIMADI, Okene. It is an institute under Naseni, that's the National Agency for Science and Engineering Infrastructure, which is into research and development of power equipment such as transformers, inverters, generators, as well as photovoltaic cells and generation simulation labs. The institute was established to be a center of excellence in the design, production and repairs of power equipment and electrical machinery required to make Nigeria self-sufficient in power transmission and distribution. The strength of PIMADI lies in its well-trained engineers, scientists and technicians. The establishment can boast of employees competent in transformer manufacturing. 40 of them were among the 60 trained in China by Huahe Group Industries Limited, which ranks among the best transformer manufacturing companies in the world. For a better understanding and appreciation of PIMADI in indigenous technology, let's take you down to Okene in Kogi State, where some Nigerians are engaged in the manufacturing of power equipment and electrical machinery in just a moment. My name is Kirian Umayo. Thank you for joining us. At PIMADI, there is a power simulation laboratory workshop housing a module of power generating station produced by the institute. Engineer Mohammed Zaki Salihu tells us more.
Welcome to Power Simulation Lab. Here we have a model of a generating station like what we have in Kainji and other generating stations in Nigeria. Now, in this system, we have a system of bringing two voltages together. For example, if you need a higher power and you have only one generating station, but you are able to raise another generator, maybe an independent generator, then you need to synchronize these voltages so that you have adequate power as per requisite. Before you do that, you need to make sure you have your voltages to be the same, the phases of the voltages to be the same, and the frequency to be the same. After you have attained this phenomenon, then you can now send your voltage to the bus bar. From the bus bar, it will be transmitted to the utility, where you now have it at your domestic disposal for users. This is a synchronizing machine. It's trying to bring two generating stations together. At this point, you cannot synchronize them, but you need to allow it get to a limit where it is going off and on. But if you check the voltage is too high, you have to reduce the voltage to the nominal voltage. Now at this point, we have the nominal voltage, but our synchronizer, the speed is still too much, so we have to increase. These are the adjustments that is being done in the generating station so that there will be no problem by the time the power is sent to the utility.
PMAD is known for electric transformer manufacturing. Some of the trained staff in transformer production are hoping to go into full-blown transformer manufacturing when the expected transformer production plant is established.
The core mandate of this institute is to produce power equipment so that Nigeria will be self-reliant in terms of power distribution and transmission. And one of the core mandates of that power equipment is the transformer. We are very versatile in type of transformer. We have what it takes to produce transformer. We have been trained in China, almost about 60 engineers. I think almost 60 engineers were trained in China in the act of manufacturing of transformer. And luckily, among those 60 engineers, we have 30 of those 60 engineers in this institute. And while we are in China, we are able to produce almost 9 transformers, which have been deployed to the headquarters now, right from the design, the lamination, cutting of the assembly, and everything was being produced by that 30 engineers. When we return from from China, we now undergo in the act of manufacturing of transformer based on the basic equipment we have. As you can see there, the engineers are working. These are the transformer we produce while we return from China, and we're happy if that transformer manufacturer can come into being now. The problem of transformer in Nigeria is not right. It's gone forever, because we'll be rolling a lot of transformers that will solve Nigerian power problem.
This is a renewable energy training section, and Engineer Tajuddin Abdulrahman explains the use of solar and wind renewable energy sources and the staff's capacity in producing such devices.
What you are seeing here are renewable energy trainers. The photovoltaic power system, which demonstrates the function and operation of a PV power system. So when we say PV, we mean photovoltaic, which means the energy you get from the sun. What we have here is what is known as the solar panel. When sunlight falls on this particular device, solar panel, it generates what is known as a DC voltage. So the DC voltage now is being converted into AC for use, for domestic use, because most of our domestic appliances are run on what? On AC. Because the solar is not available throughout the day, there is need for us to store the energy that is gotten in the daytime for data use at night. That is what this particular component does, a battery, which is also known as what? As an accumulator. So this is a modular setup of what? A solar panel system is all about. Beside it is the wind energy trainer. It is also a form of renewable energy, which means an energy that can be replenished. There is a fan inside a tunnel which generates the artificial wind. This artificial wind is being converted into wind power with the aid of the turbine inside. This is an anemometer which gives us the value of the wind speed, because the amount of wind energy generated is dependent on the amount of wind speed. If the wind speed is high, the amount of power will be what? Will be high. If the wind speed is low, the amount of power that you get from the wind turbine will also what? Will also be low. So for this outdoor, it is synonymous with what we have here, except that in the case of this outdoor module, you will need a natural wind to blow this turbine to be able to generate power. When it comes to renewable energy training, we have expertise in that field. Staffs have been trained locally and internationally. Apart from the training, we also look into domestication. So most of these things that you have here it has been demonstrated, it can be domesticated. We have actually done something like this. In fact, we have made an improvement to what you are seeing here now. Domestically, within us here, we have been able. So once we acquire any machine, we reverse engineer and we domesticate, which is part of the mandate of Naseni.
Here is the Advanced Manufacturing Technology Laboratory, one of the units under the Research and Development Engineering. Badeyo Oyeyemi is our guide.
It is a unit that carry out part of the design work. And how do I mean? The drawing aspect of the design is being done in this unit before the other aspect of the design is being considered. It is a unit that we deal with. We have so many software in carry out our design, which include the AutoCAD, the Professional Engineer, which is the ProE. We have the SolidWorks, and recently we are also trained on the software known as Midas. These software are the software we use in this lab to carry out some of our drawings that we do here. Some of the products you see around there, we first of all come here to carry out the drawing aspect of it.
Advanced manufacturing is the use of innovative technology to improve products or processes with relevant technology described as advanced, innovative, or cutting edge. At PIMADI, there are specific machines for advanced manufacturing technology. They include shaping machines, bent plate, ENC, and other machines that are numerically controlled. The machines are used in drilling, turning, and facing. They can also be used for mass production of items. And the staff of PIMADI are well trained in the operation of these machines and can produce variety of items according to specifications.
Produce 2060 ENC. We use it for turning, we use it for drilling, we use it for facing to do the work. And you can see the operation going on. The tool is there. This is the 2 posts. Then we now, first of all, we do what is called homing, the homing of the machine to now reference the machine. After the referencing, they talk about the spindle. You have to make the spindle work while the tool is there, and you begin to move. You now move the 2 posts towards the tool so that the operation can be carried out. That is how the machine works. It's a very fast means of machining parts compared to the conventional lathe machine, the one that we use hand. We use hand to do. So this one is faster, is accurate, its efficiency. In fact, its efficiency is even very close to 80%.
What we have just watched is a clear indication that the competencies of Nigerians in many aspects of homegrown technology is not in doubt. But the challenge is in the adoption of these technologies in order to grow sustainable industrialization for national development. To speak on the imperativeness of PIMADI in power sector and efforts by Naseni towards capacity building, here is Professor Mohammed Haruna, Executive Vice Chairman of Naseni.
Power Equipment and Electrical Machinery Development Institute, that is PIMADI, or Kene in Kogi State, is one of the institutes established by Naseni. The institute was established to cater for the needs of power sector. Important components that are necessary for a successful power industry: machinery, equipment, switch gears, and even appliances like electric motors, electric generators, transformers. The founding fathers of Naseni have specifically listed intervention in power sector as part of the mandate of Naseni, and dedicated mono-mandate institutions be created for that purpose. I was opportune to be the pioneer director or managing director of the institution and started it from scratch. The mandate, vision and mission of PMAD is to guarantee that there are substantial local inputs into the Nigerian power sector. It is understood and analyzed that along the world, across the globe, there is no any country that has sufficiency of power supply without manufacturing some component, without building local capacity, without having human and material resources that are developed locally to operate the power, to make new innovations and even sustain progress in the sector. The institute is established therefore to ensure that we are able to create some products, we are able to meet our certain demands. Of course, what we don't know how to do, we can go and acquire elsewhere and learn from other sectors and be able to develop our own capacity. So I started that institution in 2010, and due to absence of workshop, absence of infrastructure on the ground, in fact, I started it virtually by operating from a hotel. But within the first 1 year, we were able to lease facilities at Ajaokuta Steel. Luckily, I had experience at Ajaokuta TTPPP, that is the power station there, that was meant to provide thermal power station to provide power supply to Ajaokuta steel industry and also feed the grid. So we were able to use their workshop to make initial products in the institution, including pole-mounted transformers, including specialized transformers, of which we had unique machines in the system that there is no one producing that type of transformer in the world. So in order to install those CNC machines for Naseni sister institutions, we need those dedicated transformers. So we are given that task suddenly within 3 months to come out with repeating transformer that are not the customized, I mean the regular ones that will meet. It is 3-phase, but then still 3-phase at 415 volt. We are able to do that within short time. So anything we wanted to fabricate, we use Ajaokuta workshop. But despite the non-performance of the factory, we are able to get leasing from the administrators then to be going there. And of course, within 1 year, thanks to the support we got, we are able to establish temporary site, even acquire a gigantic place as permanent site with 47 housing estate inside, road network, other workshop, because it used to be the camp and workshop of Dumais, one of the contractors that constructed facility at Ajaokuta Steel. Is a very befitting and unique location that will cater for all the needs of the power equipment. And then we got bright young men who are interested, and we send them to various places across the world in 2010, 2011 up to 2012. We went to Belarus for training, some went to Russia, some went to South Africa, some went to Indonesia. Some went to Italy. In fact, 2 different teams went to Italy, and that is where they learned the ability to be producing the training equipment and solar simulators for making it easier to learn solar technology. Let me say that the knowledge they acquired there has helped us greatly in fast-tracking the completion of our first solar panel of in Karshi, and serve as the foundation building block for the subsequent training. We are giving people in the area of solar installation, repairs and maintenance, and even development of equipment in the solar generators, the customized unique inverters made on Naseni. Let me say that it is the blueprint I developed from PIMADI to do transformer, to do high voltage, and to do solar cells that I offer them then to my boss, Professor Adeoye of blessed memory, which he bought the idea, loved the idea, but there are no resources. So when God in his own ultimate mercy has appointed me and offered me this position, I continue pursuing that, not knowing where I will get resources across the world. And today this vision has become a reality with the approval of the government of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Next, to speak on PIMADI's giant trials in transformer development and production of high voltage laboratory for testing of power equipment is the Managing Director of PIMADI, Engineer Adaja.
Actually, we research into a new product. Apart from researching into a new product, we carry out reverse engineering of an existing equipment, then reproduce it, and then introduce some kind of new ideas into them to perform more than what it was. PIMADI is to impact more on the power sector of the country. Especially, we are developing a transformer. Hardly will you see any company in Nigeria building a transformer. Most of the transformer company will have their only assembly. Our own is to build transformer from the scratch and then make it available in Nigeria. Then we are having about setting up our high voltage laboratory, of which most of the power equipment we are having in this country we can carry out their test to know whether they satisfy the requirement of being used in our power system. Once you have power, the country, you have a create enabling environment for every other industry. Our own is to support the power sector, produce the necessary equipment they need in the power sector. And once power is stable, every other sector will come up. We'll have some smaller devices we've been developing here, like a load isolator device. This to help in management of power system. But the main equipment we want to produce now is transformer. And then the transformer line will soon be put in place. Really, all the Naseni institutes work hand in hand. There are some, like the last solar training kit we produced, we went to Enugu, set the Enugu to use their machine in producing those items. Like we at times carry out some solar installation, then we'll go as far as to Karishi, our center there, to acquire our solar panel. Then the system in Naseni is that we ask within ourselves before looking outside for what we don't have in PIMADI.
And that wraps it up on today's edition of the program. We encourage you to link up with us via email address on your screens for more you can learn from Naseni Milestones. Thanks for watching and goodbye.